A Hero of Revolution by George Pope Morris. Let not a tear be shed, of grief give not a token, although the silver thread and golden bowl be broken. A warrior lived, a Christian died, souls forgotten in our pride. Go, bring his battle blade, his helmet and his plum, and be his trophies laid beside him in the tomb, where files of time-marked veterans come, with martial tramp and muffled drum. Give to the earth his frame, to moulder and decay, but not his deathless name that cannot pass away. In youth and manhood and in age, he dignified his country's page. Green be the willow bough above the swelling mound, where sleeps the hero now in consecrated ground. The epitaph or Delavan, God's noblest work, an honest man. Boat Song by George Pope Morris. Pull away merrily over the waters, bend to your oars for the wood-tangled shore, where off on the float with earth's loveliest daughters, where with all the argosies the wave ever bore. Pull away gallantly, pull away valiantly. Pull with the swoop, boys, and pull for the shore, merrily, merrily bend the oar. Pull away charily, land is before us, green groves are flinging their balm to the spray. The sky, like the spirit of love bending over us, lights the bright torches to show us the way. Pull away cheerily, pull away wearily. Pull with a nerve, boys, together give way. Merrily, merrily pull to the lake. Pull away heartily, light winds are blowing, crisping the ripples that dance at our side. The moon bows in silver the path we are going, and night is arrayed in her robes like a bride. Pull away readily, pull away steadily, pull with will, boys, and sing as we glide. Merrily, merrily over the tide. Champions of Liberty by George Pope Morris. The pride of all our chivalry, the name of worth will stand, where throbs the pulse of liberty within his native land. The Jeff's brow was formed to wear, a nation's tears will freshen wear. The young companion of his fame, in war and peace allied, of garlands woven round his name, reposes at his side. Duncan, whose deeds forevermore will live amid his cannon's roar. Gates in his country's quarrel bold, and she to arms appealed, sword like the Christian knights of old, his laurels on the field. In victory ran the welkin dome, he earned a sepulchred home. The drumbeat of the bannered brave, the requiem of the knell, the volley of a soldier's grave, his comrades' last farewell. Her tributes rendered to the dead, and sermons to the living read. But where's a glory brighter far when all that earth has given, a beacon like the index star that points the way to heaven? It is a life well spent, its close the cloudless sundown of repose. That such was theirs for whom we mourn, whose obsequied hest, and woe and sorrow they are born unto the final rest, a guide will their example be to future champions of the free. Come to me in cherry time by George Pope Morris. Come to me in cherry time, and as twilight closes, we will have a merry time here among the roses. And the breezes crisp the tide, and the lindens quiver, and our bark will safely glide down the rocky river. And the stars of quiet ray o'er the hilltops brighten, cherry rye we'll sing and play, that the cherries ripen. When come to me in cherry time, and as twilight closes, we will have a merry time here among the roses. Deliver us from evil by George Pope Morris. Deliver us from evil, Heavenly Father. It still besets us wheresoever we go. Bid the bright rays of revelation gather to light the darkness in our way of woe. Remove the sin that stains our souls forever. Our doubts dispel, our confidence restore. Write the forgiveness on our hearts, and never let us in vain petition for it more. Release us from the sorrows that attend us. Our nerves are torn, and every vein we bleed. Almighty Parent, with thy strength befriend us, else we are helpless in our time of need. Sustain us, Lord, with a pure Holy Spirit. New vigor give to nature's faltering frame, and at life's close permit us to inherit the hope that's promised in the Saviour's name. Farewell, love, by George Pope Morris. Farewell, love, we must sever, nor for years, love, but forever. We must meet no more, or only meet as strangers, sad and lonely. Farewell, farewell, love, how I languish for the cause of all my anguish. None have ever met and parted, so forlorn and broken-hearted. Farewell, farewell, love, till I perish, all my true for thee I'll cherish. And when thou my requiem hearest, now till death I love thee, dearest. Farewell. Funeral Hymn by George Pope Morris. Man dieth and wasteth away, and where is he? Hark, from the skies I hear a voice answer and say, the spirit of man never dies. His body which came from the earth must mingle again with his earth, but his soul which in heaven had birth returns to the bosom of God. Now terror has death for our grave, to those who believe in the Lord. We know the Redeemer can save, and lean on the fate of his word. while ashes to ashes and dust we give unto dust. In our gloom the light of salvation we trust is hung like a lamp in the tomb. The sky will be burned as a scroll, the earth wrapped in flames will expire, but freed from all shackles the soul will rise in the midst of a fire. Then, brothers, mourn not for the dead, rest from their labors forgiven. Learn this from your Bible instead, the grave is a gateway to heaven. O Lord God Almighty, to thee return is our solace above. The waters may fail from the sea, but not from thy fountains of love. O teach us thy will to obey, and sing with one heart and accord. He gave, and he taketh away, and praised be the name of the Lord. I love the night, by George Pop Morris. I love the night when the moon streams bright on flowers that drink the dew, and cascades shout as the stars peep out from boundless fields of blue. But dear far when moon or star, or flowers of gaudy hue, or murmuring thrills of mountain rills, I love you. I love to stray at the close of the day through groves of forest trees, when gushing notes from songbirds' throats are vocal in the breeze. I love the night, the glorious night, when hearts beat warm and true. But far above the night I love you. I love thee still, by George Pop Morris. I never have been false to thee. The heart I gave thee still is wine. Though thou hast been untrue to me, I no more may call thee mine. I've loved as woman ever loves, with constant soul and good or ill. Those proved as man too often proves a rover, but I love thee still. Yet think not that my spirit stoops to bind thee captive in my train. Love's not a flower at sunset droops, but smiles when comes her God again. The birds which fall unheeded now could once my heartstrings merrily thrill. Love the golden chain and burning vow are broken, but I love thee still. Once what a heaven of bliss was ours, when love dispelled the clouds of care, and time went by with birds and flowers, that song and incense filled the air. The past is mine, the present wine, should thoughts of me the future fill, think what a destiny is mine, to lose but love thee, thoughts one still. I am with you once again, by George Pop Morris. I am with you once again, my friends, no more my footsteps roam, but begin my journey ends amid the scenes of home. No other climb my skies so blue, or streams so broad and clear, and where hearts so warm and true as those that meet me here. Since last of spirits wild and free I pressed my native strand, I've wandered many miles at sea and many miles on land. I've seen fair realms of the earth by rude commotion torn, which taught me how to prize the worth of wit where I was born. And other countries when I heard the language of my own, how fondly each familiar word awoke an answering tongue. But when our woodland songs were sung upon a foreign mart, the voice that faltered on the tongue with rapture thrilled the heart. My native land I turn to you, with blessing and with prayer. The man is brave and woman true, and free as mountain air. Long may our flag and triumph wave against the world combined, and friends a welcome, foes a grief within our borders find. Lady of England, by George Pop Morris. Lady of England, o'er the seas, her name was borne on every breeze, till all the sunset clime became familiar with Victoria's name. Those seas divide us many miles, yet for the queen of those fair isles which gave our fathers birth, resolves a blessing from this land of growth, our fatherland, fit theme for song, and thou art named what memories throng. Shall England cease her love to claim, but while our language is the same, scion of kings shall live and reign, whet when by nation's swelling strain is breathed amid our forest green, we too may sing, God save the Queen. Lines on a Poet, by George Pop Morris. How sweet the cadence of his lyre with melody of words! They strike a pulse within the heart like songs of forest birds, or tinkling of a shepherd's bell among the mountain herds. His mind's a cultured garden, where nature's hand has sown the flower seeds of poesy, and where they have freshly grown, imbued by beauty and perfume to other plants unknown. A bright career is before him, all tongues pronounce his praise, all hearts his inspiration feel and will in after days. For genius breathes in every line of his soul-thrilling lace. A nameless grace is around him, as something to be defined, to be described. It must be felt by all of humankind, an emanation of the soul that cannot be defined. When blessings on the minstrel, his thoughts let others scan, there may be spots upon the sun which rose may view who can. I see them not, yet know him well, a poet and a man. Lord of a Castle, by George Pop Morris. Lord of a castle, or where goest thou? Why so triumph of pride on thy brow? Pilgrim, my bridal awaits me today, of the mountains away and away. Flower and beauty in solitude roves, listening for thee in the shades of the groves. Pilgrim, I hazard the truth to repay of the mountains away and away. Guided by honor how brilliant the road, leading from cottage to castle abode. Pilgrim, its dictates I learned to obey over the mountains away and away. Love me, dearest, by George Pop Morris. Love me, dearest, hear me, never will my fond woes be forgot. May I perish and forever, when, dear maid, I love thee not. Turn not from me, dearest, listen. Banish all thy doubts and fears, and on eyes with transport glisten. What hast thou to do with tears? Dry rim, dearest, I believe me, love's bright flame is burning still. With the hollow world I see we, here's a heart but never will. Dost thou smile? A cloud of sorrow breaks before joy's rising sun. Will thou give thy hand? Tomorrow human's bond will make us one. Lucy, by George Pop Morris. Thanks for your stanzas, Lucy, my sister dear in song. How many pleasant fancies with we sweet numbers throng, which like spring's tuneful brooklets trip merrily along. Sometimes, my sport of Lucy, her words will whirl around, like foam beads on the water, or rose leaves on the ground, or waltzes in the ballroom to music's airy sound. Raise, my gentle Lucy, in all you say or do, a bright poetic impulse, original and true, which art cannot acquire, and nature gave to you. The olden fable, Lucy, my muse to you would bring, the bird that can but will not should be compelled to sing. The story and its moral to modern memories cling. Awake the harp, dear Lucy, like the electric wire, it will convey to millions the heart-absorbing fire, and those who lean to listen will linger to admire. Mary, by George Pop Morris. One balmy summer night, merry just as the rising moon had thrown aside her fleecy veil, we left the gay saloon, and in a green sequestered spot, beneath a drooping tree, fond words were breathed, but you forgot, but still are dear to me, Mary, but still are dear to me. Oh, we are happy when, Mary, time lingered on its way, to crowd a lifetime in a night, whole ages in a day. If star and sun would set and rise, thus in our after years, the world would be a paradise, and not a vale of tears, Mary, and not a vale of tears. I live but in the past, Mary, the glorious day of old, when love was hoarded in the heart, and misery hoard were gold. And often like a bridal train to music soft and low, the bygone moments cross my brain in all their summer glow, Mary, in all their summer glow. These visions form and fade, Mary, as age comes stealing on, to bring a light and leave the shade of days forever gone. The poet's brow may whir and last, the bass will drown it fall, but love has rosebuds of the past, far dearer than them all, Mary, far dearer than them all. Music, by George Pop Morris. The wind harp has music, it moans to the tree, and so is the shell that complains to the sea. The lark that sings merrily over the lea, the reed of a rude shepherd boy. We revel in music when day has begun, when rock fountains gush into glee as they run, and stars of the morn sing the hymns to the sun, that brightens the hilltops with joy. The spirit of melody floats in the air, her instruments turning to harmony where, our senses beguiling from sorrow and care, and blessings sent down from above. But nature has music far more to my choice, and all in her exquisite changes rejoice. Not hands thrill my heart like the dear human voice, and breathed by the being I love. My bark is out upon the sea, by George Pop Morris. My bark is out upon the sea, the moon's above. Her lighted presence seems to me like woman's love. My native land I've left behind, a far roam. Another climes no hearts I'll find, like woes at home. Of all yon sisterhood of stars, but one is true. She passed my path of silver bars and beams like you, whose purity the waves recall in music's flow. Surround my bark, they rise and fall in liquid snow. The freshening breeze now swells our sails, a storm is on. The moon's dim lustre fails, the stars are gone. Not so fades love's eternal light when storm clouds weep. I know one heart of me tonight upon the deep. My lady waits for me, by George Pop Morris. My lady waits, 'tis now the hour, when morn unbars her gates. My vessel glides beneath the tower, where now my lady waits. Her signal flutters from the wall above a friendly sea. I live but to obey her call. My lady waits for me, my lady waits for me, she waits, while morning opes her golden gates. My lady waits, no fairer flower decked the floral grove, when she, the pride of hall and bower, the lady of my love. The eastern hills are flecked with light, the land breeze curls the sea. By love and truth sustained, for flight, my lady waits for me. My lady waits for me, she waits, while morning opes her golden gates. My Woodland Bride, by George Pop Morris. Here upon the mountain side, till now we met together, here won my woodland bride in flush of summer weather. Green was when the linden bough this dear retreat was shaded. Autumn winds are round me now, and the leaves have faded. She whose heart was all my own in the summer bower, with all pleasant things has flown, sunbeam, bird, and flower. But a memory will stay with me, though we are parted. I have seen her turn away, alone and broken-hearted. National Anthem by George Pope Morris. Freedom spreads her downy wings over all created things. Glory to the King of Kings, bend low to him the knee. Bring the heart before his throne, worship him and him alone. He is the only king we own, and he has made us free. The holiest spot a smiling sun shed his genial rays upon, his word which gave a washing in the dropping world to cheer. Sound the clarion peals of fame, ye who bears Columbia's name, with existence freedom came, it is man's birthright here. Hers of an immortal sire, let his deeds your heart inspire. Weave a strain and wake the lyre, where your proud altars stand. Hail with pride and loud harish, streaming from 1,000 spears, freedom's rainbow flag of stars, the symbol of our land. Nature's Nobleman by George Pope Morris. When winter's cold and summer's heat shall come and go again, 100 years will be complete since Marion crossed the main and brought unto his wild retreat his dark-eyed wife of Spain. He was the founder of a free and independent band, who lit the fires of liberty the revolution fanned. His patent of nobility read in the ransomed land. Around his deeds a lustre throngs, a heritage designed to teach the world to spurn the wrongs once threatened all mankind. To his posterity belongs the peerage of the mind. Near the Lake by George Pope Morris. Near the lake where dropped the willow long time ago, a rock threw back the billow, brighter than snow, dwelt a maid, beloved and cherished by high and low, out of autumn's leaf she perished a long time ago. Rock and tree and flowing water a long time ago, bee and bird and blossom taught her love's spell to know. While to my fond words she listened, murmuring low, tenderly her dove eyes glistened a long time ago. Mingled were our hearts forever a long time ago. Can I now forget her? Never. No, lost one, no. To a grave these tears are given, ever to flow. She's the star I missed from heaven, long time ago. Not married yet, by George Pope Morris. I'm single yet, and years have flown since I came out. In vain I sigh, in vain I fret, ye gods, what other man about? Although I'm 20, O ye powers, the spinter's lot is hard to bear, on earth alone to pass the hours, and afterward lead apes downward. No offer yet, I'm puzzled quite to make it out. Where you my cap, I said, what are the men about? They don't propose, they won't propose, for fear, perhaps, I'd not say yes. Just let them try, for heaven knows I'm tired of single blessedness. Not married yet, the use is in the man, I fear. I'm like something to be let, and to be let alone, that's clear. They say she's pretty, but not chink, and love of old it runs in depth. It agitates my nerves to think, but I have yet no offer yet. O'er the Mountains by George Pope Morris. Some spirit wafts our mountain lay, hilly-ho, boys, hilly-ho. To distant groves and glens the way, hilly-ho, boys, hilly-ho. E'en so the tide of empire flows, ho, boys, hilly-ho. Rejoicing as it westward goes, ho, boys, hilly-ho. To the fresher, well-ray, gush the crystal fountains, as a pilgrim band we strayed cheerily o'er the mountains. The woodland rings with song and shout, hilly-ho, boys, hilly-ho. As for the fairy hunt, where old, hilly-ho, boys, hilly-ho. E'en so the voice of woman cheers, ho, boys, hilly-ho. The hearts of hardy mountaineers, ho, boys, hilly-ho. Like a glow of northern skies mirrored in the fountains, beams the love light of fond eyes as we cross the mountains. Oh, Boatman Haste by George Pope Morris. Oh, Boatman Haste, the twilight hour is closing gently o'er the lee. The sun whose setting shuts the flower has looked his last upon the sea. Row then, boatman, row. Row then, boatman, row. Row, ha, with moon and star, now a skiff of a stream is flowing. Hi-ho, ah, hi-ho, echo responds to my sad hi-ho. O boatman, haste! The sentry calls the midnight hour on yonder shore. In silvery sweet the echo falls as music dripping from the oar. Row and boatman, row. Row and boatman, row. Row afar, fade moon and star, while a skiff of a stream is flowing. Hi-ho, ah, hi-ho, echo responds to my sad hi-ho. O boatman, haste! The morning beam glides through the fleecy clouds above, so breaks on life's dark murmuring stream the rosy dawn of woman's love. Row and boatman, row. Row and boatman, row. Row to stay, away, away, to land of the stream we are flowing. Hi-ho, dear one, ho, beauty responds to my glad hi-ho. Oh, think of me, by George Pope Morris. Oh, think of me, my own beloved, whatever cares beset we, and when our hearts of thoughts approve, the force of smiles met we, and o'er the sea think the love of me, never can forget we. Let memory trace the thrusting place where I with tears regret we. Bright as your star within my mind, a hand unseen have set we, where hath thine image been enshrined, since first dear love I met we. So on my breast I fain would rest, if haply fate would let me, and live or die so forward nigh, to laugh or to regret me. Oh, would that she were here, by George Pop Morris. Oh, would that she were here, these hills and dales among, where vocal groves are gaily mocked by echo's airy tongue, where jocund nature smiles, and all her booned higher, and roams the deeply tangled wilds of hawthorn and sweet briar. Oh, would that she were here, the gentle maid I sing, whose voice is cheerful as the songs of forest birds in spring. Oh, would that she were here, the free waters leap, shouting in sport with joyousness above the rocky steep. As the fires crisp and cool the fountains as they play, with health upon their wings of light and gladness on their way. I would that she were here, with these balm-breathing trees, the sylvan daughters of the sun, the rain-cloud, and the breeze. I would that she were here, where the light rosy hours, murmuring the drowsy hum of bees, and fragrant with the flowers. The heavens redeeming love spans earth and mercy's bow, the promise of a world above and a world below. I would that she were here, amid these shades serene, of the spell of woman's love to consecrate the sea. On the death of Mrs. Jessie Willis, by George Pop Morris. After life's eventful mission, in the truthfulness and worth, like a calm and gentle vision, she is passed away from earth. Lovely she in frame and feature, blended purity and grace, the creator in the creature glowed in her expressive face. Angel of nature human, essence of a celestial love, heart and soul of a trusting woman, gone to her reward above. Mourners, dry your tears of sorrow, read the golden promise o'er, there will dawn a cheerful morrow, when we meet to part no more. Only Wine, by George Pop Morris. I know that thou art mine, my love, I know that thou art fair, lovelier than the orange flowers that bind the glossy hair. And thou hast every gentle grace which nature can design. I know that thou art mine, my love, I know that I am thine. Yes, wine, my love, and wine, my love, wine, wine and only wine. I know that thou art true, my love, and welcome as the breeze which comes with healing on its wings across the summer seas. That thou hast every winning charm which culture may refine. I know that thou art mine, my love, I know that I am wine. Yes, wine, my love, and wine, my love, wine, wine and only wine. Poetry, by George Pop Morris. To me the world's an open book of sweet and pleasant poetry. I read it in the running brook, which sings its way toward the sea. It whispers in the leaves of trees, the swelling rain, the waving grass, and in the cool, fresh evening breeze that crisps wavelets as they pass. The flowers below, the stars above, and all the bloom and brightness given, are like the attributes of love, the poetry of earth and heaven. Was nature's volume reader right, that tunes the soul to minstrelsy, tinging life's clouds with rosy light, and all the world with poetry. 76. By George Pop Morris. The clarion call of liberty rings on the startled gales. The rising hills reverberate the rising of the whales. For all the land the thrilling shout swift as an arrow goes. Columbia's champions armored out to battle with her foes. The bugled sound of victory is vocal in the air. The strains by warrior voices breathed are echoed by the fair. The eagle with the red blood bow soars proudly to the sun, proclaiming the good fight is fought and the great victory won. She loved him, by George Pop Morris. She loved him, but she heeded not, her heart had only room for pride. All other feelings were forgot, which became another's bride. As from a dream she when awoke, to realize her lonely state, and own it was a woe she broke, that made her dear and desolate. She loved him, but the slander came, with words of hate that all believed. A stain was rested on his name, but he was wronged and she deceived. A rash react that gave her hand, that drove her lover from his side, who hied him to a distant land, where, battling for a name, he died. She loved him, and his memory now was treasured from a world apart. The calmer thought was on her brow, the seeds of death were in her heart. For all the world, but a thing forlorn I could not be and live. That casket with its jewel gone, a bride who has no heart to give. Silent Grief, by George Pop Morris. Where's now my peace of mind? Gone, alas, for evermore. Turn wherever I may, I find thorns where roses bloomed before. Over green fields of my soul, where the springs of joy were found, and over clouds of sorrow roll, shading all the prospect round. Do I merit pangs like these, that have cleft my heart and train? Must I to the very last drain the bitter jealous pain? Silent grief or grief excels, life and it together part, like a restless worm it trails deep within the human heart. Starlight Recollections by George Pope Morris. 'Twas night, near the murmurings there one, we met with no witness by, but such as resplendently shone in the blue-tinted vault of the sky. Your head on my bosom was laid, as you said you would ever be mine, and I promised to love, dearest maid, and worship alone at your shrine. Your love on my heart gently fell, as the dew on the flowers at eve, whose bosoms of gratitude swell, a blessing to give and receive. I knew by the glow on your cheek, and a rapture you could not control, no power had language to speak, the fate or content of your soul. I love you as none ever loved, as the steel to the star I am true, and I, dearest maiden, have proof that none ever loved me but you. Till memory loses her power, or the sands of existence have run, I remember the starlighted hour that mingled two hearts into one. Thank God for pleasant weather, by George Pope Morris. Thank God for pleasant weather, chanted merry rills, and clap your hands together, ye exulting hills. Thank him, teeming valley, thank him, fruitful plain, for the golden sunshine and the silver rain. Thank God of good the giver, shouted sportive breeze, who spawned out tuneful river to the nodding tees. Thank him, bud and birdling, as ye grow and sing, mingle in thanksgiving ever living thing. Thank God with cheerful spirit and a glow of love, who won't we here inherit and our hopes above. Universal nature revels in her birth, when God in pleasant weather smiles upon the earth. The Dream of Love by George Pope Morris. I've had the heartache many times at the mere mention of her name. I've never woven in my rhymes or from it inspiration came. It is in truth a holy thing, life cherished from a world apart. A dove that never tries its wing, but roots and nestles in the heart. That name of melody recalls a gentle look in whining ways, whose portrait hangs on memory's walls in the fond light of other days. In the dreamland of poetry, reclinging in its leafy powers, a bright eyes in the stars I see, and a sweet semblance in the flowers. A heartless dalliance and grace, the joy that lighted up her brow, with sweet expression on her face, a form that stands before me now. And I can fancy that I hear the woodland song she used to sing, which stole to my attending ear like the first harbourings of spring. The beauty of the earth was hers, and hers the purity of heaven. Alone of all her worshippers, to me a maiden both were given. We little know the human heart, who thinks such love of time expires. Once kindled, it will ne'er depart, but burn through life with all its fires. We parted, doomed no more to meet. The blow filled with a stunning power, and yet my pulse will strangely beat at remembrance of that hour. But time and change were healing brought, and years have passed in seeming glee, but still alone of her I thought, who's now a memory to me. There may be many who will deem this strain a wayward, youthful folly, but be derided as a dream born of a poet's melancholy. The wealth of words, if it were mine, with all that follows in its train, I would with gratitude resign to dream the dream of love again. The Evergreen by George Pope Morris. Love cannot be the aloe tree, whose bloom but once is seen. Go search the grove, the tree of love is sure the evergreen. For that's the same in leaf or frame, neath cold or sunny skies. You take the ground its roots have bound, or it transplanted dies. But love are shoots and firmly roots in woman's heart we see. Through smiles and tears and after years it grows a fadeless tree. The tree of love, or trees above, forever may be seen, in summer's bloom or winter's gloom, a hardy evergreen. The Fallen Brave by George Pope Morris. From suppress and from laurel boughs, atwined in sorrow and in pride, where the leaves that deck the mouldering brows of those who for their country died. And so with the sable pall enfolds the valiant and the brave, and pride of the bows and noble fall, their garlands that adorn the grave. Beyond set the pursuit with raw victory o'er the routed foe, will startle from the rest no more the fallen brave of Mexico. To God alone such spirits yield, he took them in their strength and bloom, and gathering on the tended field the garlands woven for the tomb. The shrouded flag, the drooping spear, the muffled drum, the solemn bell, the funeral train, the dirge, the prior, the mourner's sad and last farewell, are fading tributes to the earth, with those the deeds with homage claim. But time who mingles them with earth keeps green the garlands of their fame. The Hero's Legacy by George Pope Morris. Upon the couch of death the champion of the free gave with his parting breath a solemn legacy. Shivered be the battle blade, and hushed the cannon's thunder. The glorious union God hath made, and a man put asunder. War banish from the land, peace cultivate with all. United you must stand, divided you will fall, cemented with our blood, the union keep unriven. Where freemen heard this counsel good, his spirit soared to heaven. The Hunter's Carol by George Pope Morris. A merry life does the hunter lead. He wakes with the dawn of day. He whistles his dog, he mounts his steed, and scuds to your woods away. The lightsome tramp of the deer he'll mark as they troop in herds along, and his rifle startles the cheerful lark as he carols his morning song. The hunter's life is the life for me, that is the life for man. Let others sing of a home on the sea, but match me the woods if you can. Then give me a gun, I've an eye to mark the deers will bound along. My steed, dog, and gun, and the cheerful lark to carol my morning song. The Land of Washington by George Pope Morris. A glorian with sages who in the days of yore in combat met the foeman and drove them from our shore. Who flung our banners starry field and triumphed to the breeze, and spread broad maps of cities where once waved the forest trees. Hooray! A glory in the spirit which goaded them to rise, and found a mighty nation beneath the western skies. Who climes so bright and beautiful as that where sets the sun, no lands so fertile, fair, and free as that of Washington. Hooray! The May Queen by George Pope Morris. Like flights of singing birds went by the cheerful hours of girlhood's day, and in my native bowers of simple buds and flowers we wove a crown and hailed me Queen of May. Like airy spirits the lasses came, spring's offerings at my feet to lay. The crystal from the fountain, the green bow from the mountain, I brought to cheer and shade the Queen of May. And round the maypole on the green, a fairy ring they tripped away, for merriment and pleasure, the chords of tuneful measure, bounded by the happy Queen of May. For years have passed, and time has strewn my raven locks with flakes of grey. Fond memory brings the hours of buds and blossom showers, when in girlhood I was crowned the Queen of May. The Missing Ship by George Pope Morris. She left the port in gallant style, with sails and streamers full and free, and watched her course for many a mile, far out upon the distant sea. At dusk she lessened to a speck, and when I could not trace her more, sad hearts were beating on the deck, sad hearts were beating on the shore. Two of the outward bound I knew, and beautiful the other brave, the master worthy and the crew, born to control the wind and wave. For travelled some, and some for gain, and some for health had gone abroad. Her prayers were with them on the main, Godspeed the ship and all on board. The vessel never reached the land, no tidings of her ever came. Those who beheld her leave the strand, for years in anguish heard her name. And even now in vain they tried to breathe it with a tranquil lip, or hide the moisture of the eye, while speaking of that missing ship. The Origin of Yankee Doodle by George Pope Morris. Once in a time old Johnny Bull flew in a raging fury, and swore that Jonathan should have a trial served by jury. That no election should be held across the briny waters, and now, said he, I'll tax the tea of all his sons and daughters. When down he sate in burly state, and blustered like a grandee, and in derision made a tune called Yankee Doodle Danny. Yankee Doodle, these are the facts. Yankee Doodle Danny, my son of wax, your tea I'll tax, you Yankee Doodle Danny. John sent the tea from over the sea, with heavy duties rated, but of a high noble hair I never heard it stated. When Jonathan to pout began, he laid a strong embargo. I drink no tea, by Jove, so he threw overboard the cargo. Next Johnny sent an armament, big looks and words to bandy, whose martial band, when near the land, played Yankee Doodle Danny. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle Danny. A poison with a tax your cup, you Yankee Doodle Danny. A long war when they had, in which Johnny was at last defeated, and Yankee Doodle was the march to which his troops retreated. Young Jonathan, to see them fly, could not restrain his laughter. The tune, said he, suits to a T, I'll sing it ever after. All Johnny's face, to his disgrace, was flushed with beer and brandy. Meanwhile he sought to sing no more, with Yankee Doodle Danny, Yankee Doodle ho ha he. Yankee Doodle Danny, we keep the tune but not the tea, Yankee Doodle Danny. I have told you now the origin of this most lively ditty, which Johnny Bull pronounces dull and silly. What a pity! With Hail Columbia it is sung, and chorus full and hearty. On land and main we breathe a strain John made for his tea party. No matter how we rhyme the words, the music speaks them handy. And where's the fair can't sing the air of Yankee Doodle Danny, Yankee Doodle firm and true, Yankee Doodle Danny, and Yankee Doodle Doodle Doo, Yankee Doodle Danny. The Season of Love by George Pope Morris. The springtime of love is both happy and gay, for joy sprinkles blossoms and balm in our way. The sky, earth and ocean in beauty repose, and all the bright future is coloured in rose. The summer of love is the bloom of a heart, when hill grove and valley where music impart. And the pure glow of heaven is seen in fond eyes, as the lecture of a rainbow that's hung in the skies. The autumn of love is the season of cheer, life's mild Indian summer the smile of a year, which comes when the golden ripe harvest is stored, and yields its own blessings, repose and reward. The winter of love is the beam that we win, where the storm's goals without, for the sunshine within. Love's reign is eternal, the heart is his throne, and he has all seasons of life for his own. The Soldier's Welcome Home by George Pope Morris. Victorious the hero returns from the wars, his brow bound with laurels that never will fade, while streams the free standard of stripes and of stars was feared in the battle the foeman dismayed. And the Mexican hosts and the few came on, like a tower of strength and its mighty arose. A danger most threatened his banner was borne, waving hope to his friends and despair to his foes. The soldier of honor and liberty hail, his deeds in the temple of fame are enrolled. His precepts, like flower seeds sown by the gale, take root in the hearts of the valiant and bold. The warrior's escutcheon his foes seek to blot, but vain is the effort of partisan bands, for freemen will render full justice to Scott, and welcome him home with their hearts in their hands. The Song of Home by George Pope Morris. Oh, sing once more those dear familiar lays, whose gliding measure at the bosom thrills, and takes my heart back to the happy days when first I sang them on my native hills. The fresh feeling of the olden times, I hear them now upon a foreign shore, with simple music and the artless rhymes. Oh, sing those dear familiar lays once more, those cheerful lays of other days. Oh, sing those cheerful lays once more. Oh, sing once more those joy-provoking strains, which half forgotten in my memory dwell. They send the life-blood bounding through my veins, and linger round me like a fairy spell. The songs of home are to the human heart far dearer than the notes that songbirds pour, and of our very nature form a part. And sing those dear familiar lays once more, those cheerful lays of other days. Oh, sing those cheerful lays once more. The Star of Love by George Pope Morris. The star of love now shines above, cools the fire's crisp the sea. Among the leaves the wind have reaves its serenade for we. The star, the priests, the babe, the trees, their minstrelsy unite, but all are there till woe appear to decorate the night. The light of noon streams from the moon, with a milder ray o'er hill and grove, like woman's love, it cheers us on our way. Was all its bright, the moon, the night, the heavens, the earth, the sea, exert their powers to bless the hours we dedicate to we. The Welcome and Farewell by George Pope Morris. To meet and part as we have met and parted, one moment cherished and the next forgot. To wear a smile when almost broken-hearted, I know full well as harmless woman's lot. Yet let me to thy tenderness appealing, avert this brief but melancholy doom. Content with those beside the form of feeling, grows memory like a rose in guarded bloom. Love's history, dearest, is the sad one ever, and often with a smile I've heard it told. Or there are records of a heart which never are to the scrutinizing gaze unrolled. My eyes to wine may scarce again aspire, still in thy memory, dearest, let me dwell, and hush with his hope the magnetic wire, wild with our mingled welcome and farewell. Why will be done by George Pope Morris. Search of hearts, for mine erase all thoughts that should not be, and in its deep recesses trace my gratitude to thee. Hearer of prayer, oh, guide aright each word and deed of mine. Thy spell will teach me how to fight, and be the victory wine. Giver of all, for every good, and the Redeemer came, for raiment, shelter, and for food. I thank thee in his name. Father and Son and Holy Ghost, for glorious three in one, for knows best what I need most, and let thy will be done. 'Tis now the promised hour by George Pope Morris. The fountains serenade the flowers upon their silver lute, and nestled in the leafy bowers the forest birds are mute. The bright and glittering hosts above unbar their golden gates, while nature holds the court of love and for a clint waits. When, lady, wake and beauty rise, 'tis now the promised hour when torches kindle in the skies to light thee to thy bower. The day we dedicate to care, to love of witching night, for all that's beautiful and fair in hours like these unite. In thus the sweets to flowers given, the moonlight and the tree, and all the bliss of earth and heaven are mingled, love and we. Then, lady, wake and beauty rise, 'tis now the promised hour when torches kindle in the skies to light thee to thy bower. To my absent daughter by George Pope Morris. Georgie, come home, Life's tendrils cling about we, ever or art, by wayward fancy led. We miss we love, home is not home without we. The light and glory of your house have fled. The autumn shiver of the linden tree is like the pang that thrills my frame for we. Georgie, come home, to parents, brother, sister. The place is vacant in this lonely hall, where shines the river through the glenny vista, while twilight shadows are lengthened on the wall. Our spirits falter at the close of day, and weary night moves tardily away. Georgie, come home. The winds and waves are singing the mournful music of a parting song. The soul and sense the sad foreboding bringing, some ill detains me in the town so long. Out the morn may dissipate the fear, and bring good tidings of my daughter dear. Georgie, come home. The forest leaves are falling, and dreary visions in their absence come. The fountain on the hill in vain is calling we, my beloved one, to my woodland home. And I imagine every passing breeze whispers my name among the moaning trees. Georgie, come home. Thy gentle look can banish, gathering gloom round with one's cheerful heart. In thy sweet presence all our care will vanish, and sorrow soften into mellow mirth. Return, my darling, never more to roam. Heart of highlands, Georgie, dear, come home. To the Evening Star, by George Pope Morris. The woods waved welcome in the breeze, and many years ago, lulled by the songs of birds and bees, I sought the dell below, and there in that secluded spot, where silver streamlets rove, twinned the green ivy round the cot of her I fondly loved. In dreams still near that porch I stand to listen to her woe, still feel the pressure of her hand upon my burning brow. And here, as in the days gone by, with joy I meet her yet, and mark the love light of her eyes, fringed with its lash of yet. A fleeting vision of the past, the memory glide away. You were too beautiful to last, too good to longer stay. But why a testing evening star? A sermon said recall, when laugh and lose is better far to never laugh at all. 20 years ago, by George Pope Morris. 'Twas in the flush of summertime, some 20 years or more, when Ernest lost his way and crossed the threshold of our door. I'll never forget his locks of yet, his brow of alpine snow, his manly grace of form and face, some 20 years ago. The hand he asked I freely gave, mine was a happy lot, and all my pride to be his bride within my father's cot. The fate he spoke he never broke, his faithful heart I know, and well I vow I love him now as 20 years ago. Up the Hudson, by George Pope Morris. Up the Hudson, fleetly gliding, to haunts among the trees, joy the gallant vessel guiding with a fresh and cheerful breeze. Wives and dear ones yearn to meet us, hearts that love us to the core, and with fond expressions greet us as we near the welcome shore. Ho, ye inland seas and islands, echo follows where we go. Ho, ye headlands, hills and highlands, ho, ye under cliff and ho. Up the Hudson, rock and river, grove and glen pronounce his praise, who of every good the giver leads us through his pleasant ways. Carry seeds like water traces of our bark, as on we glide, with the hand of nature graces, homestead on the Hudson side. How ye inland seas and islands, echo follows where we go. How ye headlands, hills and highlands, how ye under cliffs ho. Washington's Monument, by George Pope Morris. A monument to Washington, a table graven with his name, green be the mount it stands upon, and everlasting is his fame. His glory fills the land, the plain, the moor, the mountain, and the mart. More firm than column, urn, or fane is a monument, the human heart. A Christian patriot hero sage, a chief from heaven on mercy sent. His deeds are written on the age, his country is his monument. The sword of Gideon and the Lord was might in his mighty hand. The God who guided he adored, and with his blessing freed the land. The first in war, the first in peace, the first in hearts that freemen own. Unparalleled till time shall cease, he lives immortal and alone. Yet let the rock-hewn tar arise high to the pathway of the sun, and speak to the approving skies our gratitude to Washington. We part forever, by George Pope Morris. Fare we well, we part forever. All regrets are now in vain. Fate decrees that we must sever, ne'er to meet on earth again. Other skies may bend above thee, other hearts may seek thy shrine, but no other e'er will love thee with the constancy of mine. Yet farewell, we part forever. All regrets are now in vain. Fate decrees that we must sever, ne'er to meet on earth again. Fare we well. Like the shadow on the dial lingers still our parting kiss. Life is no severe trial, death no pang to equal with. All the world is now before we, and we climb to Rome at will. Within the land will bore we, one fond heart will love we still. Yet farewell we part for ever, all regrets are now in vain. Fate decrees will we must ever near to meet on earth again. Fare we well. We were boys together, by George Pope Morris. We were boys together, and never can forget the schoolhouse near the heather and childhood where we met. The humble home to memory dear, its sorrows and its joys. The walk with transient smile or tear when you and I were boys. We were youths together in castles built in air. Your heart was like a feather, and mine weighted down with care. To you came wealth of manhood's prime, to me it brought alloys, foreshadowed in the primrose time, when you and I were boys. The old men together, the friends we loved of yore, with the leaves of autumn weather, gone for evermore. How blessed to age the impulse given, the hope time ne'er destroys. To hope time never destroys, which led our thoughts from earth to heaven, when you and I were boys. Welcome home, by George Pope Morris. My Mary's voice, it is the hour she promised to be here. Thought by love's mysterious power, I know that she's near. I hear the melody she sings beneath our happy doom, and now the woodland shrilly rings with Mary's welcome home. By Mary's voice, I hear it thrill and rapture on the gale, as she comes gliding down the hill to meet me in the vale. And all the world, on land or sea, ever I chance to roam, the music is so sweet to me, as Mary's welcome home. Well a day, by George Pope Morris. Love comes and goes like a spell. How? No one knows, nor can tell. Nor here, nor where, when away. None dream of where, well a day. Love should be true as the stars seen with the blue sky afar. Not here, nor where, like the lay of lutes in the air. Well a day. Should love depart, not a tie binds up the heart till we die. Nor here, nor where, sad we stray, life is all care. Well a day. What can it mean? By George Pope Morris. I'm much too young to marry, for I'm only 17. I think I win of Harry. What can it mean? What can it mean? Wherever Harry meets me, beside the brook or on the green, how tenderly he greets me. What can it mean? What can it mean? Whenever my name he utters, a blush upon my cheek is seen. His voice my bosom flutters. What can it mean? What can it mean? If he but mentions Cupid, or smiling calls me fair green, I sigh and look so stupid. What can it mean? What can it mean? Oh mercy, what can I mean? I am growing wan and very lean. My spirits often fail me. What can it mean? What can it mean? I'm not in love, no smooth as such a thought of 17. I go and ask my mother. What can it mean? What can it mean? When other friends, by George Pope Morris. When other friends are round we, and other hearts are wine, when other bays have crowned we more fresh and green than mine, when I think how sad and lonely this doting heart will be, which while it beats, beats only, beloved one for we. Yet do not think I doubt thee, I know thy truth remains. I would not live without thee, for all the world contains. Thou art the star that guides me along life's troubled sea, and whatever fate betides me, this heart still turns to thee. The Hudson's Wave, by George Pope Morris. The Hudson's wave o'er silvery sands winds through the hills afar. Old Cronus like a monarch stands, crowned with a single star. And where amid the billowy swells of rock-ribbed, cloud-capped earth, the fair and gentle Ida trails, a nymph of mountain birth. The snowflake that the cliff receives, the diamonds of a shower, spring's tender blossoms, buds and leaves, the sisterhood of flowers, morn's early beam, eve's balmy breeze, a purity divine. Yet Ida steers far than these to this fond breast of mine. My heart is on the hills, the shades of night are on my brow. Ye pleasant haunts and quiet glades, my soul is with you now. I bless the star-crowned highlands where my Ida's footsteps roam. Oh, for falcons wing to bear me onward to my home. Will nobody marry me? By George Pope Morris. Hi-ho, for husband, hi-ho, as danger and longer delay shall never again have a bow. Will nobody marry me, pray? I begin to feel strange, I declare. If beauty my prospects with fate, I'd give myself up to despair, if I thought I should die an old maid. I once cut the bukes in a half, I thought it a sin and a shame, but no one had spirit enough to ask me to alter my name. So I turned up my nose at the short, and cast down my eyes at the tall. But when I just did it in sport, now I've no lover at all. These men are the plague of my life. It's hard from so many to choose. Should anyone wish for a wife, could I have the heart to refuse? For none have proposed. Oh dear me, I'm frightened at I vow. Good gracious, who ever supposed that I should be single till now? Woodman, spare the tree, by George Pope Morris. Woodman, spare the tree, touch not a single bough, and youth had sheltered me, and I protected now. 'Twas my forefather's hand that placed it near his cot. Where Woodman let it stand, by actual harm it not. That old familiar tree whose glory and renown has spread o'er land and sea, and wouldst thou hew it down? Woodman, forbear thy stroke, cut not its earth-bound ties, or spare that aged oak, now towering to the skies. When but an idle boy I sought its grateful shade, and all thy gush and joy here to my sisters played. My mother kissed me here, my father pressed my hand. Forgive this foolish tear, but let that old oak stand. My heartstrings round we cling, close at thy bark, old friend. Here shall the wild bird sing, and still thy branches bend. Old tree, the storm still brave, and, woodman, leave the spot, while I've a hand to save, thy axe shall harm it not. Words by George Pope Morris. My lady hath as soft a hand as any queen in fairyland, and hidden in a tiny boot is dainty and is light of foot, her foot, her little hand and foot. No star it kindles in the sky burns brighter than my lady's eye. Never before the beauty graced her fair form, so sweet a face, a gentle form and face. My lady hath a golden heart, free from the dross of worldly art, which in the sight of heaven above is mine with all its hoarded love, her love, a boundless wealth of love. Years ago, by George Pope Morris. Near the banks of that lone river where the water lilies grew, breathed the fairest flower that ever bloomed and faded years ago. Now we met and laughed and parted, none on earth can ever know, nor how pure and gentle-hearted had been the mourned one years ago. Like the stream with lilies laden, will life's future can't flow, till in heaven I meet the maiden, fondly cherished years ago. Hearts that love like mine forget not, were the same in weal or woe, and that star of memory set not in the grave of years ago.